Hello guys, welcome back once again to this new tarot reading. I'm going to do this request of this duo from Ateez members Yunho and Yeosang. Um, so let's see a bit about their dynamic. I was trying to find a picture of the two of them together, and actually, like, I struggled a bit, like, because I don't know if maybe because this duo doesn't have many moments, but it was because generally I don't know if maybe it's because of the people that shape certain members. There are like more edits of pictures, or maybe they do take pictures together, but I think that this also it's some kind of maybe like an expression that they do not share that much moments together, which does not mean that they do not share a bond. It just means that probably one of them is not very comfortable with taking pictures all the time, or just being like lovey-dovey or very close to others, because you know that they are different kind of people, and of course they have different behaviors and they have different ways um, of expressing affection and actually expressing that they care. I relate to this so much because I'm a Capricorn and I don't go around hugging people. Actually, people hug me, and in the pictures it looks like they are kidnapping me or something like this, because I'm really awkward in that sense. But that doesn't mean that I do not care about them. So let's um, let's dive in a little bit about them. So I placed Yeosang, I placed him in the left, and I placed Yunho, my bias, on the right. So let's talk about a bit, because I want to get into their energies a bit more. I remember that Yeosang is a Gemini with a moon in Cancer, so he is like just like Sun is the original Cancer. John Yeosang is the original Gemini, because we have three members that have moon in Gemini, so in Juno is one of them. So like I say, when I always talk about this kind of compatibility, or this kind of um, potential energetic correspondency, like they could have like um, a better understanding of each other, and probably like they can tend to get along a bit better if maybe one of them is the representative. For example, in the case of Joseon, he is a sun in Gemini, and in the case of Juno is an Aries, but his moon is in Gemini. So there's some kind of compatibility. There's this aspect where they somehow mirror each other's energy. Of course, that in the case of Juno, that Gemini energy is in his moon. It means that it's very deep inside of him, and that is an aspect that is pretty intimate. But just because I see him as this very that he is very energetic, and that he's actually he has this very upright energy, because he's an Aries, so he is very comfortable with being his energetic self. And also he reminds me a lot of Gemini energy, because you can see the spark in his eyes and his smile, which is gorgeous, that he's always excited to do things or to be whatever he is. He looks really excited to be part of this industry, I believe. I think that this is where he belongs, actually, because he seems like someone that is really sociable. I always see him like paying attention to every detail, and like trying to be welcoming and trying to pay attention to everything around him. So I believe that for him it's really exciting to have different experiences, and to me to see things for the first time. He looks like this exciting kind of small child. There's something childish and cute about him. So I will shut up talking about Yunho for now. So let's talk a bit about Yeosang, because we were starting with him. Yeosang is a Gemini, and his moon is in Cancer, which I think that this he has almost the same influence, I believe. That the same happens with Songwa. I think that the same happens with Yeosang, in the sense that he looks a bit more introvert, and it looks like his moon is taking over his whole character, because of course he is a Gemini, and he can be communicative, and he can be curious, and he can be sociable, but there's something about his mannerism and his body language that also tells me that he is an introvert, and that actually he does struggle a bit when it comes to social interactions. I believe that he's more comfortable with being around scenarios that are somehow familiar to him, or maybe being surrounded by the members. I see him like he's not very talkative, like, like generally a Gemini is really talkative. But actually, in my own experience encountering these energies, I believe that moon in Geminis tend to be more talkative. For example, if you see um, Hujang, the leader, and if you see Sun, and if you see Juno, the three of them look more like a Gemini energy for me, because they are so energetic, and in the case of and very playful. And in the case of Joseon, I sense him like he tries to be this very calm, this very like, I think that he tries really hard to organize his energy, like he shields himself a bit, like he tries to be polite, he tries to do well. He doesn't exaggerate things. I think it's his nature that he is really humble, actually, and I believe there's a bit of shyness also in his energy, and I think that it has to do with his moon in Cancer. I think that despite of all the performances, or the concept that they're given, if I see him interacting, I don't see him like being this all over the top, like energetic kind of person. I see him more like be really passive, or maybe he's also like Songwa. He's really observant. He just observates everything, and he's just so he almost gives me like very Virgo vibe. I don't know if he has like a Virgo Mars or something of a sort, because there's something about him that is, or maybe a Mars in Libra, because he's so elegant. I mean, I think he tries to be very pleasant, very polite. I think that manners are important for him. There's something about being well behaved. I know that he's not a dog to be well behaved, but there's something about him trying to portray this image of being a good boy, or a good man, or a good person. Like, and I'm sure he really is, but there's a kind of humility, that he's really humble, and that yes, there's a lot of aspects, I believe, that he just doesn't show himself just at once, like being all over in your face, like, yes, hi, like, here I am, like, hi, 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 like, like being around, greeting everyone, like he can be, but it seems a bit forced, that he looks like the kind of person that you need to give him his time, and you need to follow his own pace, because he will do things whenever he feels ready. I don't think that he's someone that you can push around, I think he's someone that follows his instincts and his intuition and the way he feels very much. So if he feels uncomfortable doing something, he will probably not do it. So he's not someone that you can like hype up, like being like, oh, come, go, go, let's go, because actually he takes his time. It's not easy for him to be open. I think that he is very reserved when it comes to his own energy, and I think that this also is an influence of being a water moon. When you are a moon in Cancer, you sometimes are homesick, you sometimes miss your family, and you miss your surroundings, and you miss being at home, and you miss being at these places that you consider that are familiar and that are known to you. So maybe being in different countries, or maybe being in different sets or different locations for him and for the other moon in Cancers in the group is a bit awkward. Like they really try really hard to put on the image that they are really experienced and that they know it's work, but at the same time, I feel like there's something about their emotional nature that they just feel awkward about it. That they just, I can feel like this anxiety just to get over with the schedule, to do things quickly so they can go back to their own privacy. I have the feeling that this is about him. So let's see how he views Juno, or how he feels about Juno. So we have the Ten of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Four of Swords. So yes, I feel like I said, he really struggles with expressing affection for others. I think that he does appreciate Juno, but he just feels like um he's not really good at expressing how he feels, or maybe at communicating at all with Juno. There's something that he definitely feels like they get along, but uh, he just finds it a bit tiring and a bit exhaustive to try to keep up with communicating with Juno, because I believe that Juno is very energetic, and somehow for Yeosang it's not that comfortable to be. Uh, he really struggles. I think that he's a bit awkward even with words. I think that he tries to communicate, but somehow he feels a huge weight on his shoulders to try to say the right things, um, which is very odd to be a Gemini and having communication problems, like or having like a hard time communicating how you really feel, especially when it comes to one-on-one interactions. I believe that probably it's just that it's not easy for him to open up, actually, and I think that he is really putting an effort to communicate with Juno, but I think that he doesn't find Juno very deep emotionally just to connect. I think that for in the case of Yeosang, he would be really comfortable speaking about feelings, or speaking about how he really feels, with someone that probably has a lot of water energy in their. But at the same time, there's like this fear inside of him of not knowing how to the right things to say, or maybe that his words won't come out the right way. Um, I think that I don't know why he worries so much about saying the right thing, quote unquote, the right thing, because I'm trying to think, what does it mean to say the right things? But I think that this also has to do with this aspect that I think that it's very pronounced here, that it has to do with the fact, with this pressure, or this, uh, there's something about him that he really wants to be perfect, or he wants to be seen as someone that is close to be perfect. I think he tries to do the right things, so he puts a lot of pressure. So he wants to maintain like good interactions, perfect relationships. So he wants everything to be like uh, immaculated. So I don't know what that means actually, to be immaculated. or to be perfect. Actually, I think that he definitely has like, he gives me really Virgo vibes. I don't know why, but he probably has like some kind of rising in Virgo, because I think that achieving perfection, or actually like be considered pure, I don't know if maybe is his upbringing, that was he was brought up to be that way, or maybe he was considered to be this, or he was brought up to be this kind of good boy. Is he religious? Is his family religious? Because there's something about being like some kind of, I don't know if to say that he has to act like he's a saint, but there's something about behaving, about being well behaved. So I don't know. So for him, like maybe getting too close to someone, or to really open up about his own feelings and his own thoughts, it would mean that he would have to go really deep, and I don't think he's ready to be this deep with someone. I think that there are a few things, a few insecurities that he has, or maybe he has, or he hides, that he's a bit, that he has a lot of anxiety inside of him because of this desire of imperfect. So I think that he tries to avoid having this kind of conversations where he thinks that he could give he could give like a few hints away that actually he's not that perfect, or that maybe he's uncomfortable with being always forced to be the perfect person. So I don't know. But also, let's see a bit about Juno, how Juno views Yeosang, and actually Juno just wants to have fun. I see him like Juno just wants to go out and celebrate and have a drink. I think that he doesn't pay that much attention. Like, I believe that there's something about Juno, that Juno, well, he's an Aries, so he is really honest, actually. And whenever he approaches someone to talk, or to just share a moment, or to, he doesn't do it for fan service. He just does it because he feels like it. He's very, um, he's very spontaneous, and I believe he just wants to have fun. And maybe this this kind of very fun and very loving and very spontaneous kind of energy, like this wild child, is what actually makes Joseon feel or reflect that they are definitely very different when it comes to their view about life, or maybe their views about, maybe they have different values when it comes to their, I'm not talking about career here, I'm talking about themselves as men, as young men. I think they come from different backgrounds. I think that somehow Juno has had experienced from his early childhood a kind of independence and a kind of freedom. And I think that the way he views life like this huge party, where everyone is invited. So I think yes, there's a bit of kind of like unrealism, like that he's not very realistic, actually, because I think that, I don't know, does Juno come from like a wealthy family, or like a family with some kind of privilege? Because I think that he had always had this sense that he had always been really optimistic about life in general, and I think that makes him somehow a bit innocent, or a bit naive to other people's struggles, or other people's inner battles, especially when it comes to self-esteem or self-image. I think he hasn't gone through those traumatic episodes, but this doesn't mean that he is not aware that tough things happen in life. Actually, I think I mentioned in his individual reading that he never experienced like being bullied or something like that, but there's someone very close to him that did went through a hard time with being judged by the way they look. So for him, it's a serious matter actually. That's why he tries to cheer everyone up when or to say nice things about other people's looks, because um he doesn't want to be a bully. Actually, he just despite that of people. He thinks that it's very important to be a good communicator. I think that this is his moon in Gemini speaking here, that for him words are important, so he tries to lift everyone's mood up, because he wants everyone to maintain a certain positivity or a certain optimism. And yes, he does have these moments where he feels down or he feels tired, but I don't think he's someone that gives up, or maybe he just doesn't pay attention to. He tries not to become negative. Actually, he just wants to put the effort that he has to put in and just enjoy the process. I think that for him life is a party. Yes, I think that maybe it's because he needs to experience more things in life. This is why he's maybe this is the way he views the world right now, and maybe after other experiences he can gain a bit more of deepness in his character, because I believe someone told me that his rising is in Scorpio. So definitely after he turns 28, he will go through a massive transformation in his character. And probably he will face a lot of experiences that are very scorpionic, are very about the Scorpio nature. So let's enjoy the bubbly Juno right now. So I think that yes, he wants to include Joseon. He wants to include him. He wants to accept him just the way he is. There's no prejudice here. He definitely sees that they are both different, that they both have different characters, but this doesn't stop him from reaching out to Joseon. I think that he's just with this page of pentacles here, I see him like he's like, oh, whatever it takes to for me to get closer to him. It's just that he will be really patient with Joseon. It's like for him, if he has to work and put the effort, small efforts every day, in order to get closer to him. He will do it. He will put the effort, because I believe he's really constant in that sense. He's really like, um he does small efforts, and he doesn't give up. So it's really nice from him actually. I think he values that they are different, and he doesn't have any kind of prejudice about Jesang's nature, um which maybe for someone other people, maybe it is would be like, oh, maybe he doesn't like me, maybe he just I don't know, but just having like a negative impression. But in the case of Juno, he doesn't see it that way. He sees it more like an opportunity to work harder on the relationship, or maybe to pass that awkward first interactions. So the cards that came out for them, it's the Chariot, the Emperor, and the Queen of Wands. So yes, a lot of meaningful major arcanas here. I think they will grow closer and closer. I think they have the possibility to learn a lot from each other, especially when it comes to building, um, to actually gaining more confidence in themselves. I think that there's a lot about each other that they need to learn from. But it's about teamwork. I think that they are, like I said, they are going through this period of their life where they are gaining a lot of opportunities and a lot of offers. So definitely I think that Juno could give some tips to Chosang to sell himself a little bit more, so he can also gain more like gigs or deals to do besides being part of the group, because he sees the potential. Of course, that Yeosang is one of the members that is like a visual, but I think that he needs to build his confidence a little bit more in order to stand out a little bit more, so people can remember him more and probably like offer him, like, I don't know, like being some kind of brand ambassador or something like that. I think that this duo has the potential to not only become closer in their bond, to tie their bond, but also to be really good teammates. To be really, they really put the effort and they work really well together. I think that this is what happens with Ateez members. That I'm not an official Itini, but I am. I have experience with seeing and dynamics and actually dynamics between groups. So I can see that they do have like a strong possibility to achieve a lot of things together because their chemistry is really genuine. um, and if I have to talk about astrology aspects, I believe that this group has a lot of correspondences. There's no casualty here in that there are a lot of moon in Geminis and a lot of moon in Cancer, and that there's a lot of Scorpio energy here too. So I think that this group probably for me has the best um, dynamic when it comes to boy groups. I think that, and it I don't mean it in the way that they are best friends and they are just like soulmates. I'm talking about the synergy of the group. I'm talking about that they all share the same passion, and at the same time that um, they they don't compete with each other because each of them has an important role, and every time one of them shines, the whole group shines as a result. So and I'm talking that they have a huge inner power within themselves. Each member has a lot of potential to grow and to be even a better version. So but they do need, like I always say about ITs, because they're working a lot, they do need to slow down a bit with all the energy they put, because like I wouldn't want to see them like getting hurt or having like an accident or having like a burnout. They need to slow down a bit, because I believe that they have been working non-stop, and that their energy, yes, it's amazing to see it, but at the same time it would be a shame that they would just put that much intensity in the first years when they have a long road to go through yet. They need to build this. um they need to keep working, so I don't want them to face a burnout or something like this. So I'm going to leave it guys here. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a like and subscribe as always. Thank you so much for being here with me and for leaving your request. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.